Hi guys, I'm very excited to be showing you this week's new releases. Also, now that it is finally officially the Christmas season, I can officially legally be wearing this Christmas friendship bracelet from Domi. So thank you again, Domi. Alright, so this week we have my very second ever custom exclusive art kit, and I am just so pleased with how this turned out. This is by Nella of Clip Art Kits, and y'all know I've been raving about her art for so long. I will get pretty much almost every single art set that she puts out in a kit form from somebody or other. And I have purchased, I think, a few of her art sets as well to use in my own shop, but I knew that I really wanted to get her to do a custom art set for me, like as soon as I could, and it turned out that it works perfectly to have her do my Christmas custom art for this year, and she really knocked it out of the park. She understood exactly what I wanted and went way above and beyond with everything that I mentioned that I wanted. I'm usually pretty specific, I will say, typically how I want every single thing to look, and based on the reference images, I'll tell her what I want to change and alter in some other kind of way, and even combine some stuff. I sent her a few images and was so put this in here and that in there, and I'll tell you what in here that she did, but she just did it so amazingly, and I'm really pleased about it. So this kit's theme is Bookish Christmas, because obviously we needed a sort of Christmas kit that I haven't really seen elsewhere, and I know that reading has really been sweeping the planner community lately, and I've always been a reader, but I'm really happy to see everyone else getting into it as well, and I haven't really seen any Bookish Christmas kits, so I had to provide that to you guys, and I'm very excited to use it myself personally. I did go with a more traditional color scheme because that's just what I love in a Christmas kit. I really love traditional colors, and I know that there's going to be probably plenty other options for alternate color schemes for Christmas kits, so I really wanted a cozy red and green with the wooden furniture feel going on. So that's what we have here, and let's go ahead and get into it. So first thing you will notice is that there are a lot of pets as well. I think there's 3 different pets included in this kit because I had to include them as well. 2 of them are homages to my own personal pets, current and previous, and then one of them is just another option, and the second one that's personal to me was kind of a last minute add-on, so I'll kind of explain that in a moment. But here we have a little kitten in the Santa hat, and this is a black and white tabby kitten, which is in reference to my soulmate cat Charlie, who was a black and white tabby, but I just really wanted a kitten in the kit wearing a Santa hat, so that's kind of in reference to him. And then also in this upright box we have the book Christmas tree. So it's a little stack of books in the shape of a Christmas tree, and there's ornaments on it and a little star in the corner. She really did an excellent job doing that one. Look at the detail on that. So I just love that. And then this other dog box, these were the original 2 pets that were supposed to be in here, so I just wanted to have a dog box, and I thought it'd be really cute to have the girl and the dog in matching sweaters, so I found an image to work for that, and here it is. And I did have her kind of change the colors a little bit, but so adorable. So there's the girl with her little golden retriever in front of the fireplace, and then the other fashion girl is this girl over here holding the ornaments. So she's got her little book stack ornaments there in front of the tree, and I think that girl originally had straight hair in the image, but I thought curly hair would work a little better, and it's a more natural hair texture, I feel for what she looked like. So, and also that just looks a lot more like me, so that's why she's in the main first page, although there are alternate fashion, as you will see later. And then for our double box scene, we have, this is the best scene that I've ever seen anywhere, and I think she just did so freaking amazing with this. You'll see it even bigger later, but essentially what this is a little fireplace, basically a living room with a fireplace and a cozy reading chair, and there's bookshelves on the walls, and then the giant Christmas tree, And then I wanted her to put in like a girl reading with a little cat in her lap. So this part she like added herself based on other reference images, which is just so super cool. And then I also wanted some of the ornaments on the tree to be little books. So there are book ornaments in there as well that were added. But I just love this scene. Also, the freebie for this kit will be the alternate skin tone version of that double box scene. So she did provide these two for me as well. So that's the one that's like more like me with the little bun in her hair. So that is the freebie. And then for the other upright box, down here we have this clock, which I synced on Instagram because I'm obsessed with it. It's my favorite thing ever. I just freaking love clocks, especially mantle clocks that look like this. Like, I honestly want to buy that actual clock and just have it in my house because I love it. We did find a grandfather clock at the Salvation Army the other day, which I really want to buy. I think it needs some fixing up, and we definitely don't have room for it right now, but I want to buy it so bad. I'm obsessed with clocks. So yeah, that clock is in here for no real reason other than the fact that I love clocks, and I thought like the aesthetic would fit very well with this overall kit theme, so that is why it's there. And then we have our little stack of books here, of course, because you can't have a Bookish Christmas kit without a stack of books. And then we have a little hot chocolate with the peppermint and the Cool whipped cream, I guess, on top. Just classic with some Christmas sprinkles that I added. I mean, it's not a Bookish Christmas kit without hot cocoa, right? So we have that in a couple places. And then there's just some like garland and ribbon also in that box. And then for the flat lays, over here we have kind of like a Christmas book ornament making setup, or actually I think the making setup's over here. This one is just these two ornaments basically. So we have the little book stack ornament, and then we have the little heart shelf ornament, and that one is resting on top of an open book, which if you look closely, it's actually a Christmas Carol in there. So I just really wanted to have an homage to that in there because that's one of my favorite stories and Christmas movies. And then we have also the flat lay hot chocolate, which has cinnamon in it and marshmallows. And then just more garland, and then candy cane. Actually, and there's the top of the other candy cane in there too. And this flat lay down here, we have our plate of Christmas cookies. These are kind of shaped like books a little bit. And then we have some more ornaments, and then book pages. Here you can definitely see the title of Christmas Carol in there. So like those were kind of the pages that you would cut up and put inside these ornaments here. So I wanted to do that little setup, and then there's more ribbon as well. So that is everything for page 1. Again, I just love these colors. I love how it turned out, and it printed so beautifully, and the art is just amazing. That's page 1. Page 2 is, let's start with the other double box scene, which is this gorgeous bookshelf, which has like these little Christmas books in there. And then the wreaths are kind of built on in there. And then I did put some trees in front of it, just as kind of like indoor decor. And then the little kitten is in there as well, because he's so nice I had to include him twice. So there's that. These would be great for a quote overlay, and even like a double box quote overlay that could fit over both, because there isn't really anything going on here that like you wouldn't want to cover up. So I think it would work great for that. And then also on this page, as always, are the checklists, or the sidebar trackers, I guess, in the red and green. And then we have the deco, and then we have the weekend banner down here in my favorite pattern out of all of them. And then for the deco, I tried to include like pretty much everything. I think there's like 1 or 2 things that I didn't include as part of the deco, but pretty much everything's on here, and some stuff is duplicated. Like you have 2 versions of the trees, 3 trees total. You have 1 version of the book stack. This is the different version from the one that's included in the kit, so you kind of like get both represented. That one has like gold leaf pages, and this one has just white pages. And then the garland, like you have the same garlands reversed, and then there's several candy canes scattered throughout. Some of this is also kind of a spoiler as to the other boxes in the kit. But yeah, you should have plenty of deco there. I always try to include some bigger and some smaller. So that's page 2, and then page 3 is the glitters. So here's the 4 colors. We have the red, green. This yellow is kind of like meant to be a gold. It's really hard to like get gold as a has just like a matte color. So I just basically kind of chose a soothing yellow, and then the brown for all the wood elements in the kit. So we have the flags at the top. I always include the 2 patterned ones because I personally use 2 patterned flags in the corners still, and then 4 just like normal flags that are larger. And then here I just have a little bit of deco, which is 2 circles with one of the patterns that I feel like you could probably layer those behind some maybe foiled icons or whatever you want to do. We have our habit trackers, and then 2 movie marquees, and then these are just little things. So that is page 3, and then on page 4 is the little things. So we have the larger little things up here. So there's 3 of those in the solid colors, and then we get into the smaller size little things. So there's 4 of the patterns and then 4 of the solids. So here's kind of the 4 patterns in the kit. We have the Christmas plaid, we have the kind of sweater pattern with the moose and the trees and the snowflakes, and then this one is like a Bookish Christmas pattern, so there's books and holly, and then this one is kind of like the bookshelf pattern essentially. I think it's a little bit different from the actual bookshelf. I mean, obviously it's different, she drew it separately, but it kind of has like the same style of the books in there, but it's just like a more simplified pattern. So I love that. So we have 2 like Bookish Christmas ones and then 2 Christmas ones essentially. So that's page 4, I believe. And then 5 and 6, I'm pretty sure how I have it labeled in my system is that this one's 5 and this one's 6, but I always put this one first, so honestly I just have it backwards. But yeah, we have our solid label page, so we got a couple fancy labels, and then we have our quarter boxes, thirds, halves, and then washi strips. And then we have the patterns, which is the same thing. Also, disclaimer, the patterns may be different sizes depending on where they appear in the kit, just so you are aware. And then we have page 7, which has a few square boxes. We have a few heart checklists, just the 3 heart checklists. We have another row of fancy labels. And then we have the rounded boxes, which let me just show you real quick how they look rounded. So there's the rounded quarter, rounded third, and then rounded half. Okay. So that is page 7, and then the bottom washi page features our last full box, which has this adorable little German Shepherd in it. And for those of you who watch my videos, I will give you a little kind of spoiler into an announcement that we haven't officially made yet, but we did get a dog, and he is a German Shepherd, and his name is Max. So while we had already like kind of picked out the dog, but we hadn't gotten him yet when I was having this art set drawn, and so I just kind of told Nella while she was drawing it, like, if you could just like add a German Shepherd and a Santa hat as well to this set that you're drawing for me, that would be so cool. And she did, and I'm so pleased with how he turned out. He just looks so cute, and so I'm really glad to have that to kind of commemorate our first Christmas with our boy Max. So there he is in front of the fire, and then there's a little stack of presents, of course, next to the fireplace, and then that one has like the little bookish wrapping paper that's the same pattern as that, so I just love that as well. Super cute. Max doesn't look exactly like this. Yeah, he's one of those with like all black faces, so there's no brown on his face at all, and I think only his legs are like that tan color, but still, that's him. And then we have our date covers, which again features that Christmas plaid, which is my favorite, and then the 2 washi options are the like Christmas sweater one and then the bookshelf. And then if you are getting a mini kit, then your page selection will be a little bit different. So you're going to get page 1, page 2, page 3, and then you're going to get the mini kit page, which has just one row of fancy labels, 1 row of the quarters, 1 row of the thirds. These are all patterned, and then 1 row of, or I think 3 times 4 of the patterned little things, and then 3 times 4 of the solid little things. And then you will get the bottom washi page as well, and that will round out your mini kit if that's what you get. And you will also get this freebie with the mini kit as well. So that is the main kit, and now let's go over the add-ons, because there is some new art in the add-ons as well. Let's see if I can kind of put this back together real quick. Okay. All right, so first we have our classic add-ons, which this one is the heart checklist add-on. So we have the red and green like full heart checklists with 5 hearts instead of the 3 hearts that are included in the kit. And then we have our 2 pattern full boxes that would be great for a quote overlay. And so I just chose my 2 favorite patterns, which were the bookshelf and the Christmas plaid. This one's kind of busy, so I'm probably going to put a quote overlay over that one. But that's the heart checklist add-on, and then we have the label sampler, which 3/4 of it is a label sampler, and then that last quarter is just headers, and these are the most commonly used headers according to you guys. So there's one of each of those. I still use the dinner's header. And then we have 2 fancy labels and a 3rd box for the rest of it. And then we have the 5th color sampler, which is this darker green. So the main color green is this shade, and then this darker green is just a little bit darker. So we have 2 fancy labels, quarter, 3rd, and half box. We have one little thing down there that's just solid. We have the 7 glitter headers, and then we have 5 little things. 3 are solid, 2 are patterned, and this is the 5th pattern. So it's kind of like the Christmas sweater, but it's a little bit different. It's got different things in it. It's got the trees. So that's the 5th color sampler. And then we have extra boxes. So these are the extra full boxes. So these 2 are flat lays. These are more bookish ornaments, but they're kind of meant to be specific books. So this one over here is meant to be like a Christmas romance. I think I just like made up a title. It says like My Christmas Wish or something. It's like kind of faded. These aren't meant to be like super legible. You're just kind of supposed to get a hint of what it is. So that's just like a Christmas romance. They have the Polar Express, which is my favorite Christmas movie of all time, which actually was based on a book. So there is a book for the Polar Express. And then we have A Christmas Carol, because of course. And then it's just like garland and ribbon and candy canes throughout these boxes as well. And then here we have another version of A Christmas Carol. So there's like a red cover and a green cover. And then The Night Before Christmas, which is like a very classic Christmas tale. And then The Nutcracker, which is my other favorite Christmas like work. So a lot of my favorites are featured in here, because that's the perk of making your own custom art kit. So there's that. And then for this box here, we have a girl holding a stack of books. These are supposed to be like Christmas books. And that was our 3rd fashion girl. And then for this 4th box, we have the double box theme, but it's like just a close-up kind of with the chair centered. And this is just like the empty chair version. So this would be great for a quote overlay, or just as like an alternate to this double box scene. And this box is actually an alternate to something that you will see later. And then the double box scene, I said you would be seeing it larger later, and that is because it is also available as a big box, so that no parts of it are cut off, because the way it is centered here, it's going to kind of bisect the girl. Like, I did try to adjust the cut lines so that they are as close to the edges as possible. So you're not going to be missing too much, but it still is bisecting her, and it still looks a little bit weird. So I personally am probably going to use the big box version, which does cut off some of the edges. I mean, like, you're not going to see the entirety of the scene, but like, I feel like you don't really need to. Pretty much everything can be like narrowed down to this square. So I'm probably going to use the version 2 of this, which is this one. So there's a version 1 and version 2 of the big box as well. And then a fun little thing I threw in on this format of page is extra 3rd boxes, and these are with 2 other like patterns per se that were not included as one of the main 4 patterns. So they're like extra fun 3rd boxes. These are actually made with clip art pieces, so you can see the page, the book page was used as the pattern for that one. And then the Bookish Christmas tree, this one, was used as the pattern for this one, which I just love that. So there are those. And if you are a Printables customer, you will be able to take this page and just duplicate these and have even more of them if you want to use more. So those are the big boxes, and this is the first ever kit that I've done that includes big boxes. So that's kind of the format for that extra. And then lastly, we have fashion, which you already got spoiled to the tall fashion girl, but it is the girl holding the stack of Christmas books. Here she is decked out in her full like Mrs. Claus outfit, and she's like standing in front of the bookshelf in front of the wreath. So super pretty. And then we have like alternate fashion girls for the other two that are featured. And then there's two versions of this girl. So this is fashion 1, which is the blondes. And this girl, I think, was drawn exactly to the reference image, so she was blonde. So that's kind of why I left her blonde in there. And she was also kind of drawn to the reference image as well, with one thing adjusted. But yeah, so here's version 1 of fashion 1. I think it's version A is what I'm calling it. And then 1B is the version of her with curly hair. I don't have an example of each one, but each one except fashion 6 is going to have an option where you can get this girl with straight hair, curly hair. So just imagine that 1B is this blonde girl with this curly hair. So there's 1A and 1B, and then fashion 2 is the brunette. So again, 2B is going to be the brunette with curly hair for this box. And then fashion 3 is the redhead. Same thing, there's going to be versions A and B. And then version 4 is this girl who has like light brown skin and black hair. And again, there's versions A and B of this one as well. And then fashion 5 is the darker skin with black hair. And then this girl is like the alternate version of that one. So that's 5B right there. And then 6. Oh yeah, I actually printed that out just because I had extra room to do so. So that's 5A and 5B. Everything else is the same except for that girl's hair. And then fashion 6 is the light skin with black hair. And this one, there wasn't a straight haired option for this girl. So there's no version A and B. There's just fashion 6. So she just has the curly hair there. And that is all of the fashion. And that is all of the add-ons for this kit. There's so many add-ons, so many variations. I'm very excited about it. And there's so many ways you can kind of use this, like whether you want to use the double box scene or use the big box or use the single full box, like whatever you want to do. You can switch out your fashion people. You get 3 different pet options. If you don't like cats, you don't have to use the cat box. You got 2 dog boxes and vice versa. So I'm just really happy to provide a little something for everybody who loves books and Christmas. So there is Bookish Christmas. And then, of course, I had to do a custom foil bundle for this. And I did kind of a mix of my Christmas and book collections because I already had foil collections for each of those. So I kind of did that. And then there's some like quotes and stuff thrown in and some new like Christmas lights. So I will go over everything. And actually, I will be laying down some of it too. Because I do have some oops that I can do that with. But as a general overview, each overlay on this page, page 1, corresponds to each full box on page 1 of the kit. And this isn't foiled in champagne lights, which I think is going to be one of the best options for foil because it's just sparkly gold, just like Christmas lights that you see everywhere in the kit. So it's perfect. And you'll see I really like went ham with that kind of theme. So this girl just has the confetti, which I did kind of take the Christmas confetti that I already had, the full version, and kind of replace some of the elements with more books. So there's some more books in there, and there's a little bookmark too. But yeah, the confetti is placed such that it's not going to go over her arms. So you can kind of see that. And then this box has the little string lights on the top, and they are such that it's going to stop kind of before it hits that star in the corner. And then there's little ornaments that are going to be kind of like on this table as well. This flat lay is like very minimalistic. I just sprinkled some star confetti and little candy canes, just kind of throughout, mostly like on the wood table part, I think. And also feel free to like layer these with any other types of overlays or mix and match or do whatever you want. Because some of them didn't have like super obvious like overlay options. So I'm kind of leaving some of it like you can do your own thing. This one, let's see. So first I'll go over the double box scene actually, which I just did like these kind of hanging dangles, but I'm kind of meaning it to be like string lights. So these are like hanging string lights. And then there's little stars and little books in the lights as well. So it kind of goes over that perfectly. And then it does kind of silhouette the Christmas tree a little bit. And then there are stars that go on the tree. So that is that. You can use some of your deco as well to spice up the other parts of the scene if you want. And then I use that same hanging lights situation to go over this girl with the dog. But there's also like a border in there. And then there's some like little confetti dots elsewhere in the border too. And then this upright box just has more of the Christmas lights. This is like a new Christmas light design. And then there's also some stars scattered throughout. And then this flatly has the quote on it, and more like confetti. And the quote says, "All I want for Christmas is a good book," and then in parentheses, "or 20. So that is page 1. And then the underlays, which are page 2, are these string lights. So I do have string light underlays in the shop, but again, this is the new type of string lights. And there are also little book ornaments in there as well. So these kind of rectangles are the book ornaments among the string lights. So very simple. Again, you can mix and match with any of the other underlays in my shop. Just get the mini bundle, which does not include underlays. Or you can use those because they match the rest of the kit. So the next page is the header overlays. So we have the confetti headers, which have the Christmas tree, the couple books, and then the ornaments. We have the string lights for this option 2 of the header overlays. And then this one is like an open book with like the little pine trees around it. And then there's some confetti in there too. I really love that one. And then this double box scene is for, or like this overlay is for the second double box scene. So again, we have these string lights at the top and then the stars, which go over all the trees. So again, pretty simple because if you want to do a quote overlay or 2, you can. Also feel free to use these boxes separately. And then for the deco, again, it's just a mix of my book deco and Christmas deco pretty much. So there's that. And then the bottom washi page. We have the confetti bottom washi down there, which has the book, the Christmas tree, and the ornament. And then the top one is a quote, which I don't usually do quotes directly in the bundles, but I just thought it's about time to kind of switch things up like that. So it just says, "'Tis the season to enjoy a good book." And this font is it was the September like birthday sale exclusive font, which I'm calling classical. So I did use that along with the quarterly font 3 for this quarter. So those are the fonts that are mixed in throughout this bundle. But yeah, we also have some more stars scattered throughout, as well as the ornament and the book stack for that one. And then the add-on page has add-ons for all the other types of overlays. We have our full cover quote overlay, which would be great if you were using a patterned full box like this. And this quote would be perfect for one of them. That's probably what I'm going to do. And it just said, this was just something I kind of made up, which says, actually I made up all of them, but this one is a cozy blanket, a crackling fire, a cuddly pet, and a Christmas book. Just like kind of summarizing all of the things that are in the kit, basically. And also there is a little bit of a theme, in which case the adjective is always something that starts with a C. And then this one is for the German Shepherd box. It just says, "Merry Bookmas," and this was one where I did a border quote, but I put the quote at the top instead of the bottom like I usually do, because like there's more space at the top for a quote. So "Merry Bookmas," so it fits perfectly over him. And the tall box is pretty simple. This is a lot like the Mia tall box, in which there's a really skinny border going around it, and then two of the corners have like little embellishments, and these embellishments are corners that can be found on the decorative corners sheet, but they matched the design on the trim of her dress really well, so I thought it would be perfect to do that design for this tall box. And also I kind of chose like less busy corners to put them in, and that also kind of leaves room if you want to do a quote like up here or a quote down here. I think would be a good option if you want to do that, which I do have custom quote overlays and floating quote overlays in my shop as well. And then we have the big box overlay, which I kind of went crazy with the these string lights. Of course I had to. And then I kind of just like put stuff in the rest as like a scene, which I will have to lay it down for you so you can see how that looks. But we have the string lights at the top and the bottom. There's a little book stack kind of on the floor. There's a book on the table, and there's also an ornament on the table. And then the garland up here and down here, and then the tree also has the stars in it, just the same as the rest of the kit. So that's why these lights stop here, is because I didn't want them to like run into the tree. So they kind of just like stop short of where the tree is on here. So that's not a mistake. They're meant to be like that. And then also on this add-on page, we have the hole reinforcers and 2 dividers, which are just the string lights, and they are contour cut. So that is the add-on page, which is optional for both the mini and the ultimate version of the bundle. You can get it foiled in any of the 46 foil colors available in shop, or unfoiled, and you can purchase it as a printable if you want as well. So now let me go ahead and grab my sample sheets so I can kind of show you how some of this stuff looks laid down with the overlays, which I didn't do the previous times, but now I just like happen to have oops sheets that I want to use for this purpose. So let me go grab them. Okay, so I just have these 2 pages, and I'm also going to do one of the big boxes. But these pages, I think my cutting machine just decided to cut through like all of the stickers for whatever reason. So there's like a giant X here that you can see. So they are definitely oops. But for the purposes of showing you like how everything looks in a spread, I think it's going to be perfect for that. I haven't done a mock spread in a while, and this isn't going to be like necessarily, yeah, you can see where it cut through there too. This isn't going to be a full mock spread, it's just going to be a few boxes essentially. Let's start putting stuff in now. Like the big stuff, so that I don't run into any issues with box placement later. Oh, these big boxes in my shop are the same size as claim planners, by the way. Oh my god, just ripped through that entirely. Good job, me. Let's do that there. Doggy box goes down here. Let's put in the double box seam up here, and the reason that it did cut through like that is because the cutting mat was not sticky enough. So if you ever run into an issue like that where your blade is cutting through, like it doesn't seem like it's lifting up before going to the next cut, it's probably the stickiness of your cutting mat that is causing that issue. Okay, let's put that there. And then we have just enough space to put this extra box here. I'm not gonna do the tall box, although I guess I could. Why not? Just for sample purposes, let's do one of the tall boxes. So I'm gonna use this one right here, because that's probably like one of the ones that's closest to me. So we'll do her there, and then let's do the bottom washi as well, just to see what those overlays look like as well. Okay, and of course I just ripped right through it again. There's the top. the bottom. Perfect fit. Love to see it. I haven't planned in like so long, but this is like making me really miss it. This is as close as I will get because I just don't have time, because each spread takes like an entire day because of how much I do for each spread, like how much pre-planning is involved. Okay, so there's that, and then while we're here, let's just put down the extra stuff that is on these pages so that we can kind of see the cohesive look. This is my first time laying down one of my kits too, actually. I haven't seen anybody else lay down one of my kits either, so we're kind of testing it out, although its format is pretty much the same as like all the other shops. So the only thing that would be too wild is if like the sizing was somehow off, but considering I make overlays for other people's stickers, like the overlays are the same size as the actual stickers, so I kind of have templates for everything already, which is great. And then let's go ahead and just throw in these third boxes as well so you can kind of see how they look. Love it. Okay, so there's those, and now let's go ahead and do some of the overlays. Oh yeah, this was the sheet I was going to use for the full box overlays. So that is what the confetti one looks like. Again, I kind of tried to avoid her arms a bit with the confetti parts. And then this one for the kitty cat box, which definitely try to be extra exact when lining these up, because I did kind of design them perfectly to fit over the boxes. So you see how that one stops just short of that star, like it's perfect. So just kind of like be aware when you're laying it down that you want to be extra exact. And then there's little ornaments in front, so cute. Okay. Now this flat lay had the confetti bits. Yeah, mostly on the wood, which is nice, and then just some in other places as well. So I think that's nice and subtle. Another great box for a quote on it. And for this flat lay, I already made that decision for you. So there is a quote on here. And feel free to like do quotes like for your favorite books as well. Like that would be very appropriate. And I also have custom overlays that are specifically book themed too, that already have like the icons on them and stuff. So there's that one. And then let's do this doggy box. It's kind of hard to line it up without getting right up and close and personal with it. But there's that one. Oh, that one's pretty. Yeah, I think those hanging Christmas light situation, I think that was a good idea on my part. And then this one was for this box. Again, very nice and subtle. I did not want to cover up any of this gorgeous clip art, so that's why the confetti bits are so subtle. And honestly, like, it's a good overall look, because I feel like a lot of people these days have been saying that like most overlays just like cover up all the clip art and they want something more subtle. So that's kind of what I'm like aiming for, and why I kind of try to work around the clip art when I make these custom foil bundles. Like this one where I go around the tree with these lights. Like how perfect is that? It's beautiful, and I just love the stars on the tree too. So there's that, and then let's see. That's kind of what the underlays would look like next to it, which I really love those. And I'm not going to do this double box scene because I also didn't put down that double box scene, but you can kind of get an idea of how that looks based on like this stuff essentially. And see, I didn't put down that like a pattern full box for that, But let's put down the Merry Bookmas one over the dog. See how perfectly that fits up there. I love it. And then let's do the tall box. Right here, I did not line this up very well at all, but you can kind of get the gist. And actually, why not just like lay this down and test it out? Or actually, if I want to keep this one to use for my version of the kit, let's go ahead and just use this other one for demonstration purposes. Let's put that right up here. Yeah. There's no real better place for it. I already kind of filled up all the other boxes, or all the other slots. So there we go. Oh, I love that. It's very busy against the that particular background, but you can still definitely read it. And I mean, thematically, it makes a lot of sense. And let's do what I always love to do with dividers that hang, is put them over third and half boxes. That's my favorite thing to do. So that's what we're gonna do here. So fun. And then lastly, we'll do the big box overlay, which gotta line this one up perfectly as well. There we go. Excellent. So you can kind of see my vision here and see how these lights stop right at the tree perfectly. And the book stack is like on the floor, kind of like opposite from that one. And then we have the ornament and the other book on the table. So it just kind of fills in the scene. And I love that. So lastly, what I wanted to do was do the washi. So let's do that. I don't typically use quilt washi, but I think it's really fun. And then let's do the confetti. And this is probably how I would lay it down in an actual spread as well, with the quote over the green washi. Okay, so here you can see that a little better, and that is essentially like the mock spread. So that is what all of the boxes look like when you lay down the overlays this way. So you can kind of make your decisions now if that's how you want to do it, or if you want to like switch things up when you actually lay it down. But this is kind of like the vision that I had in my head on how it's kind of meant to look with everything laid down where it should go. So that is it for this week's new releases. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you love this kit as much as I do, and I can't wait for my next one with her, whenever that may be. So if you want to like and comment and share and subscribe, that would be amazing, and I will see you at my next video. Ciao, ciao.